Today's episode is about hope.
Hope is a good thing, maybe the best of things, and no good thing ever dies.
We all know that how difficult it has become to find love in today's environment. Loneliness is on the rise. Social interactions have gone down. Dating apps have commoditized love. Situationships, friends with benefits, ghosting, breadcrumbing, submarining. Every day a new term emerges, making us turn to Google to find out what it means. Yet despite all this negativity, people continue to find love in the most unexpected places. Antarctica, the coldest and most desolate continent on Earth, might not seem like an obvious backdrop for stories of love and connection. Yet beneath its icy exterior, this remote land has witnessed tales of romance that rival the most heartwarming narratives from any other place on Earth. So, today I would like to share some of the many love stories which have blossomed in Antarctica. Let's start with the first Tinder match in Antarctica. In 2014, an American scientist stationed at McMurdo Station, the largest research base in Antarctica, decided to open Tinder out of curiosity and probably loneliness. He set his search radius as wide as possible, never expecting to find anyone nearby. To his surprise, the app revealed a single profile. Another researcher, a woman stationed at a remote field camp several miles away. The woman, also experimenting with the app during her limited downtime, had logged on during a rare moment of internet access. Both swiped right, leading to what is believed to be the first ever Tinder match on the continent. With temperatures often plunging to below -40°C, unpredictable weather, and the logistical hurdles of moving between research stations, meeting up in person is no easy task. In this case, the two were stationed miles apart, with no regular transportation available between their locations. While details of whether the match led to a face-to-face meeting remain unclear, the story itself became a symbol of hope and connection. While you might say that it's just a Tinder match, give us stories which led to something permanent. So, let me share 3 stories where people found something truly lasting in Antarctica. Starting with the story of Nicole and Cole, who found love the old-fashioned way. Nicole McGrath was at a crossroads in life when she first set foot in Antarctica. In 2013, she was 25 years old, unsure of her future and eager for a change. The economy was struggling and job prospects were uncertain. When she came across an opportunity to work in Antarctica, she saw it as a unique adventure rather than just a job. With no idea what to expect, she signed up, ready to experience life in one of the most extreme environments on the planet. McMurdo Station, the largest research outpost in Antarctica, was home to about 1,000 people during the summer season. It functioned as a small town, complete with dormitories, a dining hall, and even a bar. Life there was anything but ordinary. The days were long, the sun never set, and every task, no matter how small, was dictated by the harsh Antarctic conditions. Cole Hines, a 29-year-old Texan, was a returning staff member at McMurdo. He had already spent a few seasons working in the remote outpost and knew the ins and outs of life on the ice. He was assigned to train the new recruits, including Nicole. Their first interaction was nothing out of the ordinary, just another orientation session for another batch of newcomers. But Nicole had a playful streak, and during a lunch break, she jokingly told Cole, "I've come to Antarctica to find a husband." Neither of them knew that this offhand comment would one day hold some truth. Life in Antarctica created a unique environment for relationships. There was no dating scene, no distractions of the outside world, and very little room for pretense. People were thrown into close quarters, working and living together, forming bonds faster than they might in the real world. Nicole and Cole's connection deepened quickly. They spent time together during off hours, sharing stories, exploring the frozen landscape, and leaning on each other through the challenges of life at McMurdo. When you're living in one of the most extreme environments on Earth, you see each other at your best and worst. There's no room for games or facades. It wasn't just the romance that made their relationship special, it was the companionship. The long, isolated months in Antarctica had a way of intensifying emotions, and for Nicole and Cole, it solidified their bond. They became each other's source of warmth in a place where the temperatures often dropped below freezing. When their time at McMurdo ended, Nicole and Cole faced a challenge. What happens when you return to the real world? Many relationships that form in isolated environments don't always translate well back in the real world. But Nicole and Cole's love wasn't just a product of their circumstances. They continued their relationship after leaving Antarctica, traveling together, eventually settling in Albany, New York, and they have a daughter now. Moving on to the next story on our list. Robin McDonald's journey to Antarctica was more than just an adventure. It was a voyage that led him to the love of his life. His fascination with the icy continent began in 1954 when, at 14, he watched the film Scott of the Antarctic. The combination of its cinematography and Ralph Vaughan Williams's haunting score ignited a lifelong desire to visit this remote part of the world. Decades later, following personal challenges, including a divorce and the passing of his mother, Robin felt a compelling urge to fulfill his childhood dream. He booked an expedition with Clipper Cruises aboard the World Discoverer, a modest 3,500-ton vessel. As he prepared for the journey, he carried his late mother's wedding ring in his leather purse, a token of familial love accompanying him into the unknown. Before embarking, Robin joined fellow travelers for breakfast at the Sheraton Hotel in Santiago, Chile. There, he noticed a woman standing alone, dressed warmly despite the summer heat. Drawn to her, he approached with a light-hearted comment about her attire. This woman was Eileen, and their initial conversation sparked a connection that would deepen over the course of the expedition. Throughout the Antarctic voyage, Robin and Eileen's bond grew stronger. They shared awe-inspiring experiences, from observing majestic icebergs to encountering diverse wildlife to crossing the infamous Drake Passage. These shared moments in such an extraordinary setting fostered a profound connection between them. At the journey's end, as Eileen prepared to depart for New York, she invited Robin to visit her during the upcoming holidays. He accepted, and their relationship continued to flourish. On November 18, 1994, Robin and Eileen got married in Garden City, New York. Their love story, rooted in a shared adventure to the world's most remote continent, exemplifies how following one's passions can lead to unexpected and life-changing connections. You know, people say that long-distance relationships don't work. Well, our next story proves those people wrong. Peter Boyle, an instrument electrician, and Dr. Natasha Behrendorff, an Antarctic medical practitioner, were both part of the Australian Antarctic Division. Their journey began during pre-departure training for their respective missions to Antarctica. As they boarded a bus heading to the AAD headquarters from their hotel, Natasha noticed Peter's warm smile. Peter just kept on smiling at her until they had a conversation. This initial interaction sparked a connection between them. Following their training, Peter and Natasha were assigned to different research stations, almost 1,400 kilometers apart. Peter to Davis Station and Natasha to Casey Station. Despite the physical distance between them, their bond grew stronger. They maintained regular communication through video and regular calls, sharing their experiences and challenges faced in the extreme Antarctic environment. They would even have virtual dates. The isolation and unique circumstances of their surroundings fostered a deepening relationship. After completing their assignments, Peter and Natasha reunited in Hobart, Tasmania after almost 500 days. Their time apart had solidified their feelings for each other. A few days later, they were called back to Antarctica to their respective bases. But this time, they were going to be reunited on the Antarctic soil. Peter thought it would be the perfect opportunity to pop the question. Peter proposed against a backdrop of a penguin colony and endless white, and Natasha said yes. The two scientists who had found each other at the bottom of the world chose to make their commitment permanent, adding another chapter to Antarctica's collection of remarkable love stories. Life in Antarctica is simple, stripped of distractions, far from the constant noise of the outside world. Without the chaos of modern life, people have the chance to truly see each other, to form bonds built on companionship and shared experience. And if love can flourish in Antarctica, where the sun disappears for months and temperatures drop to unimaginable lows, then surely it can be found anywhere. For those still searching, do not lose hope. Love has a way of showing up when and where we least expect it. Even in the most frozen, desolate places on Earth, warmth finds a way. That brings us to the end of the video, and I hope you liked it. A lot of research and effort goes into making these videos. So it would be great if you could support the channel by liking, sharing, and subscribing to the channel. You may also consider becoming a member of the Alive and Curious community, which will give you access to the exclusive perks. And I will keep bringing you more such stories from around the world. Thank you. See you in the next one.